The new topics we are going to talk about today is algebra. Algebra is very deep and broad math topic, so I'm going to introduce you very basics of it. So we're going to talk about the meaning of algebra. Then I'll also introduce you important terminology of algebra as well. Then we learn the key skills for simplifying expressions, and then I will show you how to solve the equation. Now at the end, we will practice algebraic fractions. Then finally, once you are really get used to solving equations, so we will going to practice algebra word problems next time. But let's start. Right, so let's talk about the meaning of algebra. What is algebra? So algebra means, somebody may tell me that algebra is a finding an x. Yes, right. Algebra is a finding an unknown values. Unknown value means, yeah, that's x, y, sometimes a z. Yeah, it can be any letter, and we call it this as a variables because it can change. So, for example, I'm going to write down some number sentence. X plus y equal 10. Now, finding x is algebra. So what is x? Yeah, x is 5. So this is algebra. And also algebra has got another meaning. Look at this. Algebra means finding rules, patterns, or relationship of more than two values. This is slightly different from finding x. So for example, I'm going to copy down the number sentence x plus 5. Now this time, I'm going to put the y instead of a 10. X plus 5 equals y. This is algebra as well. Why? Because we are looking at rules or patterns or relationship between two variables, two letters, that is x and y. Now, can you find the relationship between the x and y? Whatever x you have, y is always 5 or more than x. When x is 1, y is 6. When x is 2, y is 7. When x is 10, y is 15. It's always 5 more than x. So this is algebra as well. Now, here we've got 3 important terminology of algebra. Now, pause the video, then explain what is expression, what is equation, and what is the formula. And then, can you tell the difference between them? If you find it tricky to explain each terms, then I'm going to give you an example. Here I've got x plus 3 equals y, x plus 3, and x plus 3 equals 10. Now, can you match the examples with the terminologies? So what is expression? So yes, x plus 3 is expression. Then x plus 3 equals 10 is the equation. And x plus 3 equals y. So they are different, right? So let's talk about the difference between the expression and equation. Have a look at the example. Expressions, equation, they look similar, but what's the difference? Yes, right, as you notice that there's no equal sign in expression, but you must have an equal sign on your equation. So, equation, the word has got equal, right? That's why you must have an equal sign. As you can see, when you see the equation, you definitely can find the x, right? X equals 7. So, equation is finding x. Now, let's talk about the equation and formula. What's the same and what's the different? Thinking about it, they all have an equal sign and they all have a variables. But equation has got only one variable, but formula has got more than 2 variables, x and y. That's the difference between them. Then I'm going to say formula is a relationship between more than 2 variables, relationship between x and y. As you can see, x plus 3 equals y. So, as we practiced before, the y is, when you see that, we can see the relationship. Y is always 3 more than x. This is the formula. And for example, when we talk about the area of a rectangle, that is always area of a rectangle equals length times width. Then when we talk about volume of the cuboid, it's also length times width times height. This is the formula. You can see more than 2 variables. Now, I've got more vocabulary about the algebra. Have you ever heard about the terms and like terms? So let's see. Terms are numbers, variables, or numbers with the variables in the expression or equation. So here, variables, I keep telling you that variables means a known value. That is a letter, right? It can be X or Y. Then I'm going to show you some expressions. These are expressions. Why? These are not equation because it doesn't have a equal sign, right? So I've got 4 expressions, and then now figure it out how many terms can you see in each expressions. So I've got a 5x. 5x means 5 times x. So it has got only 1 term because as you can see it has got number 5 with a variable x. So number with a variable, it has got 1 term. How about y minus 9? How many terms can you see? Yes, right, it has got 2 terms with a letter, 1 variable, and 1 number. So it has got 2 terms. Then next one, 2x plus 4 plus 5y. How many terms can you see? So number with a letter and number with a letter, we can see 3 terms. Last one, last expression, how many terms? I can say it's 3 terms. You may say, oh, it's 2 terms. No, it's not really because x and x squared, these are not the same term. So we can see 3 terms here. Now let's talk about like terms. What is like terms? Yeah, terms that contains the same letter or powers. So terms with the same letter, that is the like terms. And as we said, x and x squared is a different term. So you need to check powers as well. Now I'm going to show you 2 expressions. Then let's actually circle. Let's find the like terms. So 2x, 2 times x is the same as so what is the like terms of 2x? 2x and x. They are like terms as we've got an x. Then 4 and minus 9 is the like terms because these are numbers. So it has got 2 like terms. Then next one, 2y. Can you find the like terms with 2 y's? So which term has got y? Minus 5y. That's all, right? Then numbers 2, minus 9. These are the like terms. And then double check with the powers. So 3y squared and minus 8y squared. These are the like terms since they all have y squared. Now, since we've been talking about the meaning of algebra, then the important terms, expression, equation, and formula, right? As you can see, a meaning of algebra can be linking to some of important vocabularies. For example, the first meaning, finding the unknown value, that is actually linking to equation. And then finding rules, patterns, and relationship of more than 2 variables. That is talking about the formula. So now I've got an example here. Then now, do you think it's an expression or equation and formula? What do you think? Yes, this is definitely equation. Why? Because it has got equal sign and it has got 1 variable. Look, the equation looks very complicating. So what we're going to do is we've got a long complex equation. Then now, can you find the x? What is x? Because solving equation is finding x. Do you think you can find the x? No, we can't because it's too complex. So what we're going to do is we need to simplify the equation first. Then once you've got a simple version of equation, then we can quickly find our x. So simplifying it is making the equation simple, then solving equation means finding x. Now, here is a key skills for simplifying expressions. That is collecting like terms. We've been talking about like terms, the terms with the same letter, and then expanding bracket and factorizing. Let's talk about all of these. And first of all, collecting like terms. So I've got some expressions, and then can you actually find the like terms? Collecting like terms means find the like terms, then put them together. So as you can see, you've got a plus, a plus, a plus a. These are all same terms. They're all like terms. We put them together. That means it's 4 times a, right? You're adding 4 times. Then, as you already know that when it comes to algebra, we don't write multiplication sign. So we just simply write this as a 4a. This is a collecting like terms. The next one, now we've got a 2 like terms, that is 4c and minus 2c, as it has got a c. Then 3d and minus d, these are like terms as it has got d. Then we put them together, collecting, you put them together. 4c minus 2c is 2c and 3d minus d is 2d. So when you simplify the expression, we can get 2c plus 2d. Now, next one looks complicated. So now 2y, where is it? Can you see any like terms? Yes, I can see 3y. Then 2y, 3y like terms put together. Then 3y squared. Can you see like terms? Yes, minus 8y squared. Let's put them together. Then we've got a single term, minus 9. We can't see any like terms. So now 2y plus 3y equals 5y. 3y squared plus minus 8y squared. That is minus 5y squared. Then just copy down the single term, 9. This is the end of the simplifying because we can't see any like terms. Now, here, I'm going to talk about expanding brackets. What does it mean by expanding bracket? So you've got a bracket. Expanding bracket means you remove the bracket. So here, what does it mean? It means 2 lots of x plus y, right? So 2, we've got missing our multiplication sign. 2 times x plus y. That means 2 lots of x plus y. That means you actually double the x. At the same time, you double the y. What we can do is you double everything inside the bracket. So 2 times x, 2x plus 2 times 5. That's the expanding bracket. So you don't see any brackets, right? Then let's move on to the next one. You've got a 5 times bracket 3 add 2x. You times everything inside the bracket. 5 times 3 add 5 times 2x. So that is a 15 plus 10x. Next one, 3a times 4 plus a. So you times 3a to 4 and a as well. So you distribute 3a to the terms in the bracket. So 3a plus times 4, that is 12a. Then you add 3a times 4. Actually, that means you're just writing these as a factor. 3 times a times 4. Then let's times the number first, 12, then times a. So 12 times a, you can just simply write 12a. Then 3a times a, as you can see, 3 times a times a. So now, can you see? A times a is a squared. So remove the times sign, so 3a squared. This is expanding bracket. Now we're going to talk about the factorizing. Actually, factorizing is the opposite of expanding bracket. So you undo the expanding bracket, that is a factorizing. Let's see how it works. So as you can see, factorizing, factor is very important. You're writing down the factors of all the terms. 2x and 10. As you can see, 2 and 10 is a 2 times table. So 2 must be a factor of both of the term. So I'm going to write 2x as a 2 times x. 10 is 2 times 5. So let's circle our common factor. 2 and yes, 2. So 2 is a common factor of 2 terms. Then now just make the bracket. Then you put all other factors inside the bracket. So we can say 2 bracket x plus 5 bracket. That is factorizing. So as I said, factorizing is undo the expanding bracket, right? So let's double check it. Let's expand the bracket to distributing 2 into the terms in that bracket. So 2x plus 2 times 5 is 10. See, these are the same, right? So in this way, we can check whether we do it right way. So another one, 15 and 10. Yeah, it's all 5 times table. Definitely has got 5 as a factor. So 5 times 3 and 2 times 5, and you've got an x as well. These are all factors of these two terms. And as you can see, common factor is a 5. So factorizing, have a 5, then bracket, and then writing down all other factors. 3 add, we've got only 2x. So again, you want to double check with it. 5, you want to double check by expanding brackets. So 5 times 3, 5 times 2x. So 15 plus 10x. Same. Now, next one, we've got 2 terms, 3a squared. So 3 times a times a. Now, 12a squared, 12a is 3 times 4 times a. Let's see the common factors. That is 3a, 3a. So our common factor is 3a. Then have a bracket. Then write down all the other factor that is a. And then adding 4. 3a bracket a plus 4 bracket. Let's double check by expanding bracket. You distribute 3a to the terms inside the bracket. So 3a times a, that gives you 3a squared. 3a squared plus, and the 3a times 4 is a 12a. Done. Okay, so this is the end of the lesson. So have a look at this chart. Then now we've been talking about the meaning of algebra. Then I also introduced you the new terminology, expression, equation, and formula. So you can distinguish all of these terms, right? I also talked about the 3 skills to simplify the expressions. Then next lesson, we are going to talk more about the simplifying expressions. We're going to practice this more with the complicated expressions. Then finally, we are going to solve the equation. So I will see you next session. Bye.